What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Austin making another video. Alright guys, so in today's video, I just kind of want to reflect on my first semester at Howard University. So recently we just finished up the semester like a few days ago. I kind of just wanted to give y'all my take and kind of my experience being online for my fall semester of my freshman year. So whenever I first heard the news that we were going to be online for the fall semester, obviously I was pretty bummed about it because, you want to be on campus for your freshman experience because it only happens once, meeting everybody, making friends, just learning how to be an adult, being independent away from your parents, doing your school, just things like that. Getting that experience and having that experience taken away from me was really a down moment for me. But, I have to take it with a grain of salt and just push it, keep it pushing, right? I can't dwell on things I can't change. And I had to realize that you can only worry about things that you can control. And since I couldn't change the decision that the people made at the university, I had to just move forward and just control what I could. And the things that I could control was my academic performance and my mental health. So those are the two things that I had to prioritize if I wanted to make it through my fall semester. So, I'll kind of break the video down into two aspects. I'll break it down into the academic portion and the physical slash mental health portion of my fall semester of my freshman year. So to begin, my academics, it was definitely a transition going from high school to college. Going into college, right? I was like, okay, I did well in high school. I'm just gonna assume I'm gonna do well in college as well. And it was definitely a punch in the face, right? A splash of water in the face, right? Because I had to wake up because it was much, much different from high school. If there's like any high schoolers watching this, believe your teachers when they say that stuff in high school won't fly, right? The main difference that I realized is that a lot of it is independent. A lot of your success in college, the majority of your success in college is dependent on you and your work ethic, right? Your professors aren't going to be there to pamper you, and they're not always going to be there to push you, right? They'll give you the knowledge and they'll be there whenever you need help on like a certain concept or certain topic. But a lot of it is going to be relying on you taking that extra time to study, you watching those extra YouTube videos to make sure that you understand a certain concept. So that's the number one lesson that I learned, like even being online, was you have to be relying on yourself in order to have success. Now, there's kind of a different viewpoint from there. Not everything is going to be on your shoulders, not every single portion. That's why you have your classmates, right? That's why your classmates are there. That's what your classmates are there for, to help you and push forward whenever you need help. So for me, what I had to realize is that, I was putting in a lot of extra work, right, when I didn't really need to, right? I was causing myself to struggle and stay up super late when I could easily ask a classmate who may have understood the concept for help. But for some reason, I just always have like this knack to just want to be independent, right? If I don't understand something, I'm just like, I'm gonna figure it out myself. I don't really need anybody. And I think that's one thing I could have changed about this semester. And one thing I'm gonna bring into my next semester, the spring semester, my freshman year, is to ask classmates for help whenever I need it, right? Not always asking them every time I struggle with a problem and never try to figure it out for myself. But if it gets to the point where I feel like I've used too much time, that's when you can begin to ask either your professors or your classmates. Use the resources that you have, right? That's a big tip that I would say, is use the resources that are offered to you, right? You don't need some $600 book or $600 tutoring class to help you. If you have your professors or your friends or classmates there with you who can help, use that, right? And that's one thing that I'm going to bring um, into my spring semester of my freshman year. Another thing about my academics, like academic like reflection on this year, is time management, right? I know people say a lot about how important time management is, but I don't think people really understand how important it is until like you're actually in that environment, right? So even being online, right? I took 18 credit hours, and the max you can take up is 21, I think 21 or 22, somewhere around there. And me taking 18 credit hours, it was definitely an adjustment. I had to learn to manage my time much better, right? Taking, classes back to back. You know, you have to make sure you prepare for this class before it starts and also prepare for this class before it starts as well. So that would entail, you know, maybe staying up a little bit later to make sure that you understand the concepts, or to make sure that you're up to date on the concepts that you may be reviewing on that day of class, and then be ready for the next day of class and then new information, right? So I'll give you an example for my Cal 2 class that I took during the fall semester, right? That was one of the toughest math classes that I've taken, right? Not only does it challenge like your mathematical abilities, like with the foundational, like algebra, you know, pre-cal and calculus, Cal 1 skills, but it also challenges your, I guess, spatial and like conceptual slash like critical thinking abilities. And I had to, you know, I had to work really hard to make sure that I was on top of the information, make sure I was ready for the exams whenever they would come, you know, make sure I was doing a lot of practice problems, right? And, you know, typically in high school, I'd be like, I would see the information, I would get it, you know, but, you know, now that I was in college, you know, taking this Cal 2 class, it was reviewed just about every day. And sometimes even the weekends, if we had an exam on the upcoming Monday or Tuesday, it would be a lot of review, a lot of practice problems, right? And that's what I had to do to make sure that I had success in the class, right? And that also meant watching additional YouTube videos, asking classmates, you know, hopping on Microsoft Teams since we're online to, you know, review with classmates, you know, asking professors questions. And it was just all of these different things that I had to do, use my resources to ensure that I understood and mastered the content. Now, I'm not gonna lie, one thing I think I did slack on during this fall semester is making sure that I stay disciplined and disciplined with like my study schedule. Because there'll be some days where I would like slack off and I wouldn't study as much as I could, right? I don't know if it was because it was an online environment. I was just tired of just, you know, being in the house, you know, not much to do. I guess if it was on campus, my study schedule would have been a little bit more refined. But that's one thing I'm going to improve during the spring semester, because once again, we're going to be online for the spring semester as well. So I'm going to make sure to try and lock down my study schedule. I'm going to start using like a journal, kind of mapping out each of my days the day before. That's one thing like that I've seen on a website that they recommend, is kind of planning out your week, like the Sunday before the week starts. But I don't know if I want to do that. I may like change that up a little bit and kind of plan out my day the night before. Like before I go to bed, I'll plan out my night and what I need to do, the different goals and tasks I need to accomplish. So that's what I'm gonna start doing during the spring semester. So, you know, kind of close out the academic portion of this video. I really did enjoy my classes, and I think it's important for you to pick a major that you think you will enjoy. And for me, I'm a chemistry major, and chemistry for me, like I thoroughly enjoy chemistry, right? It's like I love the problem solving, the conceptual thinking aspect of chemistry, because biology is cool, but like it's a lot of memorization, and I'm not a huge fan of memorization. I like to problem solve, like I said, conceptualize information to solve problems, right? So I know a lot of people come in as biology majors and they end up switching their majors because, you know, they realize they don't really enjoy it. They do it because they think that looks best to get into medical school. But truth be told, you can choose any major as long as you take the prerequisites for medical school. And even in the chemistry major department, we had a few people who switched out of chemistry into a different major, right? I mean, sure, you may have found like a different passion. You may have found like you don't really enjoy chemistry as much. But what I want you all to realize is that even when it gets difficult, you have to be willing to stick through it and see it through, right? Because if you want anything great in life, you're gonna face difficult times. You're gonna face challenges, right? Because if everything was perfect, then what would you ever learn, right? If you never face any obstacles, then what would you ever learn? And that's something that I'm still trying to work on, is whenever I face a challenge, whenever I face something difficult, just learning to fight it, just push through that challenge, and not losing any type of enthusiasm, just continuing to press forward. So that's kind of how I want to close the academic portion of this video. So I did finish the semester with a 4.0, but you know, I'm not like super happy because I know there's still so much work to do. and there's still harder classes that I'm going to be taking. So, there's still so much work to be done. So, whenever I finish my uh, senior year, the 4.0, that's when you'll see me, big smile on my face. But for right now, humble, staying humble, stone cold, what I'm saying? Just want to continue to press forward and, continue to tackle more goals. So now I want to switch over to, the mental slash physical health portion of this video. Um, so like I mentioned when I started the video, whenever I heard the news that we were going to be online for the fall semester, it was a really down moment for me because, like I said, I wanted that freshman experience that a lot of people, get. A lot of people gravitate to. See it on the internet. People just having fun, going to parties. Being with their friends. Making friends, things like that. All of that is part of the freshman experience. And now I'm here at my house, stuck in between these four walls. Maybe go outside and shoot basketball, but other than that is school and nothing really else because I'm just at home. But like I said, I had to continue to press forward and only control what I could. And I'm gonna be really honest, like combining the fact that I was online, along with COVID. I know a lot of people been talking about COVID-19, but it's real, and it was really challenging for my mental health. And what I had to do was just find outlets that I could, in order to find happiness. And I started meditating. I continued to exercise. I can't slack on that. I started continue to play basketball. Call some friends who were still here, hung out with them. Talk to my brother, talk with my family. Not just talking about like things that were going on in school, just having a genuine conversation. And I think that's really important, is to find outlets, things that you enjoy, so you can find happiness in difficult times, right? And that's what I had to do, is find things in my, look deep down and ask myself what made me happy. And what I found is that, like, exercising, just being around family, playing basketball, those are things that when I go to, I get lost in it, right? And I get happy. And that kind of was like my outlet away from school. Now, I'm not saying that just because you have an outlet doesn't mean you're still going to face difficult times. And what happened is that being at home, compounded by, like I said, COVID, and then in addition to that, we were hit. My hometown of Lake Charles, Louisiana, was hit with two major hurricanes. So this resulted in my family and I having to evacuate multiple times. And for me, just being in my home, I feel comfortable, and constantly being on the move, moving to different places that you're not really familiar with, being concerned about how your family is doing, how other people are doing, if your house is still going to be intact whenever you get back. It was just, it was kind of depressing, I'm not gonna lie. And, I was close to like breaking down, like crying, but, I just gotta, I'm not trying to be like a macho man or anything, but, I just try to keep my emotions in, because I want to stay strong for those around me, me just constantly expressing my emotions, right? That can, others can feed off of that and bring their energy down as well. So I just try to stay positive during these situations, by just, like I said, just trying to find outlets. And I think that's a thing that people don't really talk about in the African American community specifically, is mental health. Mental health is something that, being positive in terms of like your mental health can be challenging. People struggle with anxiety, depression, things like that. Suicide rates are increasing, and I think it's because people aren't really happy with their lives. And that sounds bad. You may think like, oh, just get over it, just stop being, just be tough. But in reality, man, like that alone won't heal it, because your happiness comes from the inside out, right? If you're not happy on the inside, if you're not happy with yourself first, then how can you be happy with those things and others around you, right? I'm not trying to go on a rant about, trying to be a mental health expert, but, I think it's something that we should start talking about more, is people's mental health, and, how to get people to be more positive, in terms of their mental health. So that was kind of like the mental health aspect of it. My mental health, it fluctuated, throughout the semester. There were highs and there were like mids, and sometimes there were lows, with the hurricanes hitting my hometown. But at the end of the day, man, I just had to go back to what made me happy, and that kind of helped me boost my, I guess, mental health, if you want to say that. And I kind of want to touch on the physical health aspect of it. I think being online, it can be challenging for your physical health because you're inside doing like classes a lot, or if you're like at work, you have a lot of meetings back to back, and it can be difficult to, find time to do, your exercise. So what I had to do was just find breaks. What I did personally, you can like try to do it too, is just find like little breaks in between, find little times to do some form of exercise. So for example, I had like an hour break in between two of my classes. It was like one class, hour break, then the next class started. So what I would do immediately after class would finish, give me some water, like rehydrate. Then I'll go outside for like an hour walk. And that hour walk not only burn some calories, give me a little bit of exercise, but it helped me just, clear my mind from what was going on at school. It just gave me time to like rethink and recenter myself. That way, whenever the next class started, I was focused, I was ready to attack whatever was being presented to us at the class. So, I just made sure to do my basic little exercising. I did my pull-ups, my push-ups, squats. Kind of slacking on the abs, but I'm gonna get back on that. I'm gonna make some videos on that soon. But yeah, I mean, with gyms being closed once again, difficult times, but you have to find a way to stay positive and push forward. With the gyms being closed, I'm not gonna make an excuse and say, oh, I'm just gonna wait till gyms open before I start working out again. But how long has that been, right? It's been since March, since they were closed. And if I would have been saying that, then I wouldn't be like, have like muscles or anything anymore, right? Because I'll be waiting for something to happen. And I think it's important. That's a lesson you can take is if you want something, you have to find time and take the initiative to do it, right? Because I want to stay fit, even if the gyms are closed. I'm gonna find a way to exercise. If that's waking up earlier or staying up later to do the exercise. If that's what I want, that's what I'm gonna do. I think it's important, guys. If you really want something in life, whether it's to get a good grade on the test, certain career path that you want, and you're getting a promotion at a job, it depends. At the end of the day, what's really gonna matter is you taking that initiative, right? And finding the time and dedicating the time to get to that goal. So that was pretty much my freshman year in a nutshell. Unfortunately, guys, we're gonna be online for the spring semester as well. I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, we're gonna be online for the spring semester as well. There were some things that I could have done better. I'm gonna learn from this experience, and get better from it, and try to do my best to self-improve, even with being at home. Obviously you would love to be on campus, but one thing you can only control what you can only worry about things that you can control. Like I always say in my videos, if you complain, you stay the same. So keep that in mind, guys. If there's difficult times, don't complain, right? You may feel like you just have the need to complain, but complaining won't do anything. You have to be willing to, take that difficult time, find things that you can improve on, just take the action and improve what you can and control what you can control. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, guys. This was me reflecting on my freshman year. Hope you have a great day. Peace.